All right, guys, so in this video, what we're going to do is we're going to find some of these missing side lengths, all right, in these right triangles, and we're going to use trig. What I mean by that is we're going to use either sine, cosine, or tangent, and I may or may not have set up where there's going to be one of each, okay, in these three examples. Our first example is this triangle over here, and I forgot my right angle, but we'll put it in right there. And this one says that this length is 34. We have an angle over here, it's 32, and we're trying to find this x. Now, whenever you do a sine, cosine, or tangent problem using trig to find one of those missing side lengths, is you have to figure out the angle that you are given. In this case, it's this one. This is important because we have to use Sohcahtoa, right, to help us out. Sohcahtoa. Okay, that's important because either sine, cosine, or tangent is going to be used. And what I have, the information that I have compared to this angle, this 32, is I have the opposite and the hypotenuse. Okay, now if Sohcahtoa and opposites, hypotenuse, adjacent legs, if that's really foreign to you, check out this video where I do more Sohcahtoa problems and we explain it. You might need to know that for this video. Okay, but for right now, if I have the opposite and the hypotenuse, well, the O and the H, that goes with my sine function, S. So I'm going to say sine of the angle I'm given, 32, and then the sine ratio, well, Sohcahtoa is written out in the right order, O and H. So I'm going to say equals the O opposite 34 over the H, which I don't know, in this case, X. All right. Now, to solve for X, currently X is in the denominator. All right. We can't solve for it if it's in the denominator. So we have to multiply both sides by X to get it out of the denominator into the numerator of the other side. So they're going to cancel on this side. You saw I crossed those out. On this side, though, I'm left with just X times sine of 32. And in your calculator, you might have a parentheses around that. Okay, that's just equals 34 on this side. Now to isolate the x and to get it so we're able to solve, I have to divide both sides now by sine of 32. Divide this by sine of 32. And we're going to let the calculator do all the work here. So what happens is on the left side, this cancels. We're left with x. And on the right side, I have no idea what that's going to be. Okay, so I'm going to do 34. Make sure you type it in right. 34 divided by, and then in the calculator, type in sine of 32 and hit enter. Okay, I'm going to round to the nearest tenth. Your teacher might want you to round to something else, but do whatever they say. Okay, for this one though, I get 64.16, which becomes 64.2 if I do a little bit of rounding. All right, now always double check that it makes sense in your picture. If I plug this back in, I know that this is the hypotenuse that I'm looking to find. The hypotenuse of any right triangle has to be the longest side. Well, I only have one other side to look off of, and yeah, that's longer than this one, so it's as good as I know, right? That's probably right. Okay, number two, let's try this one here in blue. All right, this time we're trying to find x on the top. We're given this angle down below, and we also have a 19 over here on the side. So again, compared to the angle that I'm given, which is the 20, I have the opposite and the adjacent side, the O and the A. So the O and the A, that corresponds with tangent. All right, so I'm going to do tangent of my angle 20. All right, and again, this is written in the correct order, O over A, or opposite x over the adjacent 19. Okay, whenever your x is in the top and you're trying to, and you have a number down here, these ones are a little easier to solve than this one that took a couple steps, because all you have to do to get the x isolated is multiply both sides by the denominator, in this case, 19. So now the 19s cancel, leaving you with just x on that side, which is good, that's what we want. And then let the calculator do the work over here. 19 times tangent of 20. Hit enter. And again, round to the nearest tenth. This is 6.9. 6.9 equals x. Again, double check that it makes sense if I put it back in. Well, let's see. This is 6.9. Now 20, I know 20 degrees, that has to be the smallest angle here, right? If this is 20, this is 90. We could solve and find that this is 70 degrees. And remember that the smallest angle needs to be across from the smallest side. Well, it will be here, right? If x is 6.9, that's definitely smaller than 19. And we always know that our hypotenuse is going to be the longest side. So 6.9 makes sense for this triangle. All right, the last one, number 3 in green. Let's see here. This time we have a 21, an x over there, and it's 48 degrees. So compared to my angle 48, I have, let's see, this is the hypotenuse across from my right angle. And I also have the adjacent side. So adjacent and hypotenuse, that's cosine, the last one we haven't used yet. We got one of each. Very nice. So let's see, if I do cosine of my angle 48, again, it's written in the correct order, A over H, adjacent side X over the hypotenuse 21. On this one, I kind of run out of room there, but I'm going to multiply both sides by 21. Going to sneak it in there in the corner so that those will cancel. Again, leaving me with just X on that right side. On the left side, type it in just like it looks, 21 times cosine of 48. Hit enter, and we get 14.05 or 14.1 if we round to the nearest tenth. Again, put it into your triangle, see if it makes sense. Yeah, 14 is smaller than our hypotenuse, so that's as good as I know on that one, and it makes sense. All right, guys, hopefully this video helped you out. If it did, please help me out by liking it down below, subscribing to this channel. All right, this is the channel where we do your math homework fast and accurately. So if you like these videos that are fast like this, your subscription really does help me out, and I can make more videos for you in the future. And then also, guys, you might find this video helpful as you do more of these triangle problems. See you in the next one.